Good day, everyone. Our lesson in this video is all about relationship of needs and motivation. So our intended learning outcome is to relate need and motivation. So first, what is motivation? Motivation is defined as internal state that arouses, directs, and maintains behavior. Something that energizes, directs, and sustains behavior. It gets students moving, point them in a particular direction, and keep them going. Motivation represents a force or energy. So it means that if a person is motivated, then he or she can perform well or kaya niyang gawin yung gusto niyang gawin. If the student is not motivated, then obviously, hindi talaga siya magpe-perform ng maganda. Kaya, that is motivation. Let's proceed to the perspective of motivation. So, first perspective is the trait perspective. So, in this perspective, motivation is an enduring personality characteristic which people have at differing amount. Some people have it to greater extent and some to a lesser extent. For example, the need for achievement, also known as achievement motivation. It is the need to pursue excellence for its own sake, without regard for external rewards. This was initially thought of as a general trait and is consistent across a variety of tasks. So the second perspective is the behaviorist perspective. So the behaviorist perspective maintain the people behave to obtain reinforcing outcomes or to avoid punishment. Thus, students might study hard if the teacher praises them for their efforts, or they might misbehave in class if only to get the attention of the teacher. So in this perspective, pwedeng ma-boost yung motivation ng estudyante na mag-aral kapag napapraise siya ng kanyang teacher. On the other hand, pwede ding mag-misbehave yung estudyante sa class dahil nasanay nga siyang pinapraise siya ng guro at hindi na naman siya na-praise, ay parang nagpapapansin yung estudyante sa guro para ma-praise yung mga efforts niya. So the third perspective, this is the social cognitive perspective. So in this perspective, places heavy emphasis on the goals people strive for, as seen in the choices they make and the behaviors they show. So depende yung behavior nila, so ano yung goals natin na kanilang ini-strive. People believe about their capability to perform an activity is a factor in their decision to engage and persist in that activity. Thus, goals, expectation, and efficacy are important cognitive effort in motivation. Mahalaga itong goals, expectation, and efficacy sa cognitive factors ng ating motivation. So the next perspective is the cognitive perspective. This focuses on how mental process affect motivation. So itong perspective na to ay nakafocus siya kung paano nagpa-process yung mental at paano na-aapektehan ng mental processes yung motivation natin. They maintain that human beings are naturally inclined to make sense of their world, that their curiosity is often aroused by new and puzzling events and are more motivated by perceived discrepancies between new information and their existing beliefs. Hence, to motivate students, teacher should capitalize on curiosity of the student by presenting challenging or even inconsistent and puzzling situation. So, kung may target yung guro na ma-motivate yung mga estudyante niya, dapat pinipresent niya yung mga challenging or even inconsistent and puzzling situation. So there is There is no single perspective that will fully explain human motivation and its underpinning, correct? However, teachers should be able to selectively glean useful ideas from each perspective as to how students could be best motivated in classroom settings. So let's proceed to factors that drive one to achieve a goal. So being motivated means moving energetically toward a goal or to work hard in achieving a goal even if the tasks to achieve the goal are difficult. So kahit na mahirap yung task, mahirap abutin yung goal at parang nawawalan ka na ng motivation. So kailangan mo nang maghanap ng mga bagay na makakapag-motivate sa'yo ulit. Dahil with motivation ka, magiging energetic ka na abutin yung mga goal at ma-accomplish yung task kahit na mahirap itong abutin. Kaya being motivated means moving energetically toward the goal. So first, drives to satisfy a psychological state like hunger. Second, basic desire, yung mga basic desire natin, desire to be accepted and recognized. Third is the incentives, so expected rewards after achieving the goal. So mamotivate tayo na kapag na-accomplish ko tong task or itong goal na to ay meron akong matatanggap na reward. So fourth is the fear of censure or criticism, na mamotivate tayo na dapat galingan ko pa para hindi ako makriticize ng mga tao. At goal is an important goal for the individual to achieve. Dapat may goal ka talaga para mayroon kang motivation. Social pressure from family or social circle. Ito yung mga factors sa self-confidence. So desire bigger amount of self-confidence. Interest, high interest in meeting a goal. Curiosity about expected outcomes. Let's move to the benefits of motivation. So first benefit of motivation, it directs behavior toward particular goal. Individuals set goals for themselves and direct their behavior towards these goals. So nagpabago yung behavior nila na nakabase sa ano yung goal na kanila abutin. Motivation determines the specific goals which people strive to reach or achieve. Thus, motivation bears on a specific choice that student make for example, whether to attend a photography class or finish an assignment in math or watch a basketball game on TV. So, nakadepende yung motivation natin kung ano yung goal natin. It leads to increased effort or energy. So, pag may motivation ka ay na-increase yung effort at energy natin. Sabi nga kanina, being motivated, it means you are moving energetically. So, motivation increases the amount of effort and energy that students spend on activity, especially if these are related to their needs and goals. Thus, motivation determines whether the student will pursue an activity or task which must enthusiasm and energy or less enthusiasm. So, if kasali na din yung interest sa motivation. For example, meron kayong binigay na task yung teacher nyo, tapos nakitaan mo yun ng interest, tapos na-motivate ka na gawin yun, ay nag-exert ka na much effort at energy para mas mapaganda mo yung task, ma-accomplish mo yung task ng tama dahil nga motivated kang gumawa or tapusin yung task. It increases initiation of and persistent in doing activities. The students are more likely to begin a task that they are interested to do and are more likely to persist and finish the task. even if there are barriers, hindrances, or interruption while doing the task. So, it will increase initiation of unpersistent and doing activities. So, walang pakialam. Wala kang pakialam kasi motivated ka. Kahit pa mayroon niyang mga barriers or hindrances na pwedeng mag-interrupt sa ginagawa mo. Dahil motivated ka, magpapatuloy kang gawin yung task. So, fourth is it enhances cognitive processing. So, mai-enhance yung thinking natin. Yung paano tayo mag-isip. So, motivation affects what and how information is processed. So, students who are highly motivated at doing a task will pay more attention to the task, understand it more, and think more about the details. They exert extra effort to deduce meaning out of the material rather than go through the emotion of finishing the task in superficial or haphazard manner. So, may improve yung paano tayo mag-isip. So, kapag binigyan ka ng ganitong task, tapos motivated ka, nakakaproduce ka na mas maraming ideya, mas bagong ideya dahil na motivated kang tapusin yung task, nakakabuo ka ng napaprocess mo ng mabuti yung information na binigay sa'yo at hindi mo itong mabahagi na. So, fifth benefit is it determines what consequences are reinforcing. The more students are motivated to achieve, the more proud they feel of getting a high grade, or feel upset when they get only a passing mark. The more students feel accepted and respected by peers, the more meaning they get out of their membership in that group. Thus, to a student whose life and effort revolve around science, winning or not winning in a prestigious science competition may be a consequences of significant importance. So, number 6 is it leads to improved performance. So, mai-improve yung performance natin. Sabi ko na nga kanina, ay if motivated ka, kaya mong gawin lahat. Kaya mong i-perform yung task or yung, kaya mong abutin yung goal na kaya mong abutin at kaya mong tapusin yung task na mabuti sa perfect manner. So, because of the above mentioned effects of motivation on goal-directed behavior, effort, initiation, and persistence, cognitive processing, and reinforcement, motivation necessarily leads to improved performance. So, yun na nga, na-improve yung performance natin dahil sa motivation. So, knowing the effects of motivation on learning of student has implication for teaching. So, it is a challenge to determine what teaching techniques to use and what kind of teaching environment to create to engage students to set goals for themselves, persist in achieving their goals, sharpen their cognitive skills in the process, and eventually improve their performance. So, you are a teacher, since we are a future educator, it is our role to identify what those things that pwedeng makapamotivate sa ating mga estudyante para may pa-improve natin ang kanilang performance. So, a basic principle will be for the teacher to present a clarity to the student the goals or objective of the lesson or a classroom activity. Thus, the students are guided to set and direct their goals. This should be followed by the teacher getting an idea of the level at which the students are motivated. Simply observing them for their attention or non-attention can be a clue to teacher extent to which students are motivated to do task or the activity. That's all for this lesson. So thank you everyone for listening. That's all.